Stop killing games. Such a simple request, don't you think? Apparently not, according to some. Oh, we'll get to him. But the petition is a success. But something approaches. The megacorps of the gaming industry are fighting back because, well, of course they are. There is a potential outcome where they could lose the power to take advantage of their customers vigorously, aggressively, with no protection. Just going in raw. And losing the power to do that, well, that's scary for them. Let's talk about it. Now, the gaming industry is an industry like no other. I really mean that. It operates in this weird special place. It's an industry where its customers have little rights to the things they pay for. Well, that is just any industry's dream, isn't it? Obviously, it depends where you live. There are different laws for different countries. The gaming industry has become an industry where buying something doesn't mean it's yours. They sell licenses. They don't sell their games. At this point, this is common knowledge, right? Everyone knows this. You probably don't pay attention to that little text bubble that pops up when you first buy something or when you first open the game. Well, why would you? Any sane person would buy something and just assume it now belongs to them, because that's how almost everything else works. I'm guilty of that too, but you really should read that stuff. If you read that word salad of text, it basically means that you've purchased a license to play the game. You don't own it. They do this because in countries like the UK, you are protected by certain laws. Is that a rare UK win? It might be. It's also why your physical copies are just licenses. These things, they're just licenses. Actually, my Cyberpunk copy came with a map. Here's a map of Night City, if you're curious. It's cool, right? But these things, for the most part, useless. It is also why the UK and US Nintendo account agreements are different. The agreements for UK accounts now states digital products are licensed only for personal and non-commercial use, and that any unauthorized use of a digital product may result in the digital product becoming unusable. For the US, it's different. You acknowledge that if you fail to comply with the foregoing restrictions, Nintendo may render the Nintendo account services and or the applicable Nintendo device permanently unusable in whole or in part. You see that change of language? The change of language here is to ensure Nintendo maintains power over the things that you are buying, because different places have different laws. The point I'm making here is that these companies will do what they can to maintain power over the products that you buy. For example, it would be like this with a car. Thank you for purchasing this super expensive vehicle with all of your hard-earned money. Don't worry about that last little line at the bottom. Doesn't matter. Basically means that we reserve the right to shut down your car if you modify it, tinker with it, change anything with it, or we just feel like switching it off. Yes, we have the right to do that. Oh, and also seatbelts will be taken away from you in 6 months. You're just buying a license to drive it. You'd think the car dealer had lost his freaking mind. For some reason, in the gaming industry, this is allowed. And gamers being treated like this is nothing new. You very rarely get refunds unless it's Steam. Another Steam W. All hail Gabe. They hold back content to sell you at a later date, and they release their products in unfinished states. Imagine buying a washing machine that didn't spin. The spin? Yeah, it comes in at patch 1.02. The gaming industry gets away with a lot. Look at FIFA and the casino game mode they have for kids. They get away with false advertising. They have access to your personal data. And they're doing the thing Stop Killing Games is trying to stop. Obviously that's what Stop Killing... They can kill your games. Yep, shut them down. Anthem is getting shut down soon. The timing is suspicious with that one, huh? Very suspicious. The petition gains traction, and EA shut this game down. Care to explain, EA? Huh? I got a feeling we're gonna see a lot more games shut down soon. I assume you already know, but for those of you who don't know, Stop Killing Games is a consumer movement started to challenge the legality of publishers destroying video games they have sold to customers. An increasing number of video games are sold effectively as goods with no stated expiration date, but designed to be completely unplayable as soon as support from the publisher ends. This practice is a form of planned obsolescence. I don't know, I think that's how you say it.
Obsolescence.
And it is not only detrimental to customers, but makes preservation effectively impossible. Furthermore, the legality of this practice is largely untested in many countries. Pretty reasonable, right? Now, the petition was gaining some traction until a popular creator told his millions of followers that the petition was dumb and it could eat his entire ass.
How he's really pro-consumer and represents developers. I should really talk to him. Great, let's do it. So this was my first encounter of him.
Oh shit, no, this is actually really dumb. It's used car salesman garbage. That's awful, dude. No, eat my entire ass. I think this is ass. I dropped the mask entirely. They can eat my entire ass. The whole thing.
Oh, yeah. I can see why people like him.
That's right. Not just a portion, not just a slither, the entire thing. Going on to say,
Not only do I not want to back this, I'm going to actively tell people not to.
such a nice guy. Pirate Software. Why did he name himself that, honestly? He's so pro-corpo, not only does he have knee pads, he's also got elbow pads, bro. He's on this speedrun to lose as much credibility with the gaming community as he can. For me, he lost his credibility with the Yasuke controversy and his take on that. I can't find the clip.
Yeah, honestly, I have no respect for identity politics, trying to cancel a video game or cancel a story. If you want to cancel the story over the color of a character's skin, you have no business being here. I think that's completely worthless. I think it's dog shit behavior overall, and you will not get along with me. You know what this does? It detracts. You don't want to play the game? Don't play the game. But don't stop others from playing the game because you don't want to see a black guy in the cover. Who gives a shit? And if that's the only thing you're hung up on, and you're trying to make it about Japanese history, despite Japanese history disagreeing with you, you need to look in a mirror.
It's a 400-page novel, and most of it is fiction. After investigating, they realized that Thomas Lockley was just making things up. And where did Thomas Lockley, who wrote the novel, learn about Yasuke? From none other than Wikipedia.
If you don't like it, you're a racist. So that told me everything I needed to know about this guy. Try and discredit the argument because you're afraid of anything that challenges your worldview, and honestly, are we surprised? He used to work for Blizzard.
I worked at Blizzard for 7 years.
And it's not that he must agree with me, he just tried to discredit and brush off a very valid argument, and did nothing to back up his argument. Like, nothing. So he was an easy miss for me, but he is very popular. But I would say that most people started to see through him with the World of Warcraft drama. The guy roached out and abandoned his teammates, then lied about the whole thing.
What are you talking about? Why am I walking? Look at my mana.
Then when people called him out on it, he doubled, tripled, quadrupled down.
I want him to have accountability and say, yes, I did a mistake there. Or like, okay, sure guys, I'm sorry for like ratting. He literally has zero accountability. And that's the entire thing why people are mad.
He got kicked from the group and the whole thing was hilarious because it just escalated to a point where he just threw his dummy and toys all over the place. Just make a joke about it and move on. Here's how I would have handled that. Wait, no. I would never be in that situation. I would have died for my boys. I would have tanked the damage, took bullets. Not that bullets are in World of Warcraft, but you know what I mean. Sacrificed myself for their survival. The urge to die for a cause greater than yourself. And because I'm not a bitch. And now his latest drama is his take on the Stop Killing Games movement. Because, well, I'll let Ross explain.
If your only exposure to Stop Killing Games has been this video, then you've been misinformed. This video is by someone who does not understand the campaign, has been trying to stop it, and has been making up what it is about. I am not saying that lightly. I will prove it in a minute.
He was misleading his massive audience into thinking that the petition was trying to accomplish something that it actually wasn't. He was saying that they were trying to make it so that companies who made multiplayer games would have to convert those multiplayer games into single-player games, which wasn't true. He was also trying to say that companies would be forced to run their game forever. I think you missed something there.
If you try to tell me that every studio needs to run their live service game indefinitely or not want to run one at all, then no one's going to run them.
Oh no! He wheeled out that line about publishers having to support the game forever. He was literally watching the video earlier where it says it won't do that in big letters. That wasn't enough!
There was a bunch of things he was getting wrong. I'll link the video below, but at this point, you've most likely already seen it. I don't know how big your ego has to be to try and tell someone what their own petition is about, and tell them they aren't understanding their own petition. That's insane. Oh, the petition says something here. Let me just tell my millions of followers it means something else. If I'm being fair to him, I think he's looking at this with a game dev perspective because, well, he's a game dev. Allegedly, have we got proof of this? He actually has a game that he's been developing for 7 years. That's a long time. Notice how people call out Grums, but not Pirate Software? I'll do both. Make your games. Your fans are waiting. No, I'm not a game dev. I'm not gonna pretend to be one. I'm not gonna pretend to know what I'm talking about there. But I saw this cool video of someone who goes by the name of Coding Jesus who analyzed Jason's work. Great video, you should check it out.
This would never ever be allowed in a production repository. And like I've been hinting, it's below what you'd expect of a bottom tier intern.
I mean, to me, it looks like we might have another Sungran situation over here. You know what I'm saying? Moist Critical reached out to him and they had a back and forth. All people really wanted him to do was admit that he misunderstood the petition and misled hundreds of thousands of people on what the petition was about. Oh, no, no. He could never admit that he's wrong. You see, his ego's too big for that. Yes, the internet will dogpile you anyway. Yes, people already do not like him. But he really does himself no favors. He would have at least got some respect for admitting he was wrong. I don't think he's capable of that though. The guy is nothing but ego. Me? I'd never have a large ego. Never. His ego outweighs his talent and his intelligence. Integrity? He has none. The guy is shady and weird. Now, he won't take credit for the petition losing momentum, but he will take credit for the petition succeeding. Oh yeah. If you look at the graph that he himself used, you can see the impact he's had. To claim credit when Moist Critical, over 10 million subscribers, Moist Critical, is encouraging people to sign the petition, that is crazy. He's a narcissist. How anyone watches him amazes me. But that, believe it or not, is the short version of the context because this has been going on for weeks. So before we move on to the corpos, I did a little more digging on him. He bullied Lakari in World of Warcraft.
Reminded me, I'm sorry, I don't play the game, so I forgot.
Yeah, it's too bad I'm the only mage in the party. You're right, Jen.
Oh, since we have two mages, we could probably poly the ads.
Wait, we have two mages? Oh, it's wild, right? And now I've just been making fun of him the whole time. I've gotten 2 hours of making fun of him out of it. Yeah, it's been good.
He blamed his team for a wipe in Ashes of Creation when it was his fault. He also spoke to Asmongold about Ashes of Creation, which he had to do damage control with because his audience is that kind of audience. The hate people that don't think like me kind of audience. He definitely puts a drastic bass boost on his mic.
You guys should definitely check it out. There's many more creators than just me in there.
What's the dagger drama? I'm level 34 and have the offhand to go with the dagger.
And there are accusations of him cheating in video games. In Animal Well, he knew the answer to the puzzle with 0 of the hints. In Outer Wilds, he just looks down for a while and all of a sudden knows the answer.
Wait a minute. We can take a picture of it.
And also disappears to the bathroom and then knows the answer to this puzzle for whatever game this is. Oh, and also has a god complex.
What? God complex? No, it's not a god complex. Here, I'm gonna ban you. That's my god complex. Enjoy that.
It's just narcissistic behavior. He wants to be known as the smartest, the humblest, the best gamer, the best game dev, and if any of that gets challenged, he goes onto the defensive. There is nothing wrong with being wrong. Making mistakes is how you learn and how you grow. Nobody expects perfection, but he donates to charity, so I guess everything else is excused. Which brings us to the inevitable Act 3 of this saga. The corporations of the gaming industry are fighting back. I sense something disturbing. Gamers want consumer protection. Not on my watch. Rally the troops. Oh yes, Video Games Europe strikes back. They're not an official authority. It's more like this little club where game companies get together and discuss how they can take even more from gamers. Yeah, their statement for stop killing games is, well, let's just read it. In a minute, I need to reload. We appreciate the passion of our community. However, the decision to discontinue online services is multifaceted, never taken lightly, and must be an option for companies when an online experience is no longer commercially viable. Yes, we agree.
Well, I have great news for you, Video Games Europe. We are in no way seeking to impede your right to discontinue online services. We are saying you can shut down your games whenever you want. But you have to do that responsibly, in a way that doesn't take back rights you already sold to customers.
We understand that it can be disappointing for players, but when it does happen, the industry ensures that players are given fair notice of the prospective changes in compliance with local consumer protection laws. Really? The crew got 3 months notice. Anthem got 6 months notice. 6 months, and then the game that you paid for no longer exists. Doesn't quite seem fair, does it? Private servers are not always a viable alternative option for players, as the protection we put in place to secure players' data, remove illegal content, and combat unsafe community content would not exist and would leave rights holders liable. Firstly, players understand the risks there. If it's clear for people and they understand the risks of unsupported private servers, then what's the problem? These companies should be designing an end-of-life plan for their games. That isn't just shut it down completely. They should be doing something. There is no reason why they can't. And about it being safe, Activision are on this list. Huh? Activision, they have a lot of Call of Duty games, most of which before the Modern Warfare reboot are unplayable, full of hackers, and it's a bad time. Warzone is also full of hackers. In fact, people actually made their own servers for Modern Warfare 2, the classic one, because Activision were doing nothing to support it. Yes, that's gamers doing something that they won't. There is another reason why they don't support their old Call of Duty games. They want you to buy the new one. While we're on the subject of hacking, all of these companies are 100% secure, right? Right? Huh? Right?
I don't think so. No, 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 no. I don't think so. No, 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 no. It's never, ever, 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 ever gonna happen.
Ah, what happened? Did you fire too many employees? Roblox is also on here. Really? Those guys want to talk about protecting players? Really? Maybe, just maybe, they should be focusing on stopping predators. Maybe they should focus on that. That whole thing needs abolishing. In addition, many titles are designed from the ground up to be online only. In effect, these proposals would curtail developer choice by making these video games prohibitively expensive to create. Oh. Is it going to be expensive? Not my problem. Maybe it's just me, but if you're making a live service game, then you should be committed to keeping that game alive. And if you're not, don't make it. A lot of this is just their problem. I'm not saying run it forever. The petition actually says that that's not what they want. Actually, I am gonna say it. If their idea is to continuously farm players for their money, then they should be prepared to continuously run their game. You better make sure you make a damn good game. Again, that's just my opinion on that. That's not what the petition is actually asking for. That's just me. I'm biased. I hate those games. They're just designed to squeeze as much money as they can out of you. I hate them. Look at what Destiny has become. Just look. At least just have an endgame plan if it's no longer profitable. I'm not completely unreasonable. We want to own our games, we want to keep our games. There are things they can do, they just don't want to because it's expensive. Cry me a river. Gamers don't want to pay $80 for games. Oh, and if they shut down a game, you should just get refunded. What is that? What is that? A game you paid for is now gone because the seller has took it away. How? It just doesn't make any sense. The disc didn't break, you didn't lose your account, they just took it away. Okay, money back. Oh, and don't forget the skins I paid for too. They released a longer statement why providing continued support do not work for all games. Do not work. Do not. Does not. It's just more corpo talk that just means we do not want to lose the power we currently have. Do I think this is all going to work out? Not completely. This is a David versus Goliath situation. It is mega corporations with their billions who have more influence than we gamers ever will. They don't tend to lose. And politicians, bro, they just don't understand gaming and they keep misunderstanding what the petition is for. When we say game, are we talking Monopoly? I like Monopoly. I like taking people's property away from them. These companies are worried because if this wins, what else can gamers ask for? Are we going to see politicians look at the gaming industry a little more closely? I wouldn't bet on it. Something I personally would like to see is them being held accountable for releasing games that barely function. Capcom. I'm hoping for some level of win with this. That gamers get something out of this, which I think is possible. And Ross deserves massive amounts of praise. Stood up for what he believed in, even when a popular creator stood in his way. He didn't back down. He carried on and never let that belief fade. And that's all that any of us can really aspire to do, right? Stand up for what we believe in. So that's this topic. It's crazy. It keeps going on and on. Every day there's like a new episode of drama going on. I was late on this, I know. I'm sorry. It's busy week. Crazy week. See you in the next one, boys.